This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cinema Head Cheese Podshort for Death Note. This is Kevin Moyers, and this is another Netflix movie. It's kind of interesting. I saw the trailer for it a while back. The premise is different. Now, this is made from an anime movie that was done before, and I'm hearing that's better, but I haven't seen it, so I might watch it. Just for the comparisons. I've done that in the past where I've watched, like Old Boy. I watched the old one, then the new one, and kind of compared the two. Watched them one day after the next. And it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what it is that we remake Asian movies here. It happens frequently. But think about the 70s. We used to remake British TV shows all the time. We do our version of them, whether it's All in the Family or Three's Company or whatever. So it's not a new thing for Americans to do. I'd like to see the American Trailer Park Boys. I'd be curious to what that would look like. Sure as fuck be interesting, I'll tell you that. But you base it right here in Mesa, Arizona. That would be actually, or in Apache Junction, which was like the meth capital of the U.S. at one point. I think it's Albuquerque now, but we had an entire show about that already. Anyway, so here's the idea. This is a high schooler named Light Turner, and he's not, the coolest kid in school, of course, because what fun is that? He gets this notebook, just drops from the sky, lands next to him, and it's the Death Note. And he opens it up, and there are a bunch of rules, explain how it works. Basically, you write down somebody's name in the book, and they die. You can control their actions by writing it out for up to 48 hours. So, he learns throughout the movie how he can kind of control people or what he can do. He ends up dating this girl named Mia. I don't even know how the fuck that happened, to tell you the truth. It didn't make sense to me. But suddenly he's dating her. He tells her about the book. Watches this standoff happen on TV. And this guy is holding his family hostage. So he writes down something. The guy walks outside, lets his wife go, gives a military salute, and blows his own brains out. He shows the girl that's what he wrote. The salute, everything. And the guy did it. So so there's that. And she believes him. They become a couple, and they we're gonna take on the world, every bad guy and stuff like that. There's a creature named Ryuk, who's like a guy, sort of ish, but he has this wide mouth, this spiked head and shoulders and everything. He's cool looking. And it's voiced by Willem Dafoe. He's not the guy in the suit. But as time goes on, Light kills more and more people. He and Mia are hell-bent on wiping out the evil in the world by using the Death Note. And there's a note in the book that says, "Don't trust Ryuk." And it's weird to me because later, Light threatens Ryuk. He's like, "What if I write your name in the book?" And he's like, "Nobody's been able to do it yet. Nobody's, it's only 4 letters. The most anybody's ever gotten are 2. And I'm like, well, what about the dude that wrote "Don't trust Ryuk"? I don't understand that. But anyway, whatever. That was weird to me. Didn't make a lot of sense. So, part of the story and part of the reason that Light takes on this task. Because Ryek tells him, you don't want to do it, just tell me, and I'll give it to somebody else. I'll let somebody else do this. He says, okay, because his mom was killed by a drunk driver. And he's mad at his dad. His dad is played by Shea Wiggum. And his dad's a cop and saw it happen and didn't do anything. Like, he expected his dad to just go, batshit and kill the guy, basically. But the guy got off and is living free. Well, of course he puts that guy's name in the book. And in order to do this, in order to kill somebody, you need to have their name, their real name, and you have to have their face. You have to be able to think about what they look like or look at a picture or whatever. You have to be able to see their face. So, he kills, I think, the third person he kills. He kills a bully in front of the school, which is pretty crazy. It was like Ryek telling him how to use the book. He's like, go ahead, write whatever you want. And write how he dies. So he writes decapitation. And a crazy thing happens. A ladder goes flying off a truck, takes the kid's head off. He's like, holy fuck, this works. So then he kills a guy to show Mia, and then he kills his dude, and his dad's like, wow, this guy's dead, So his dad's a cop. This organization comes in, government, and they're looking for the killer of these 400 people. Because Light decides to create a name that is either written on a wall in blood or whatever, so that they think there's some sort of a god or a being controlling all of this. And in a way, there is. I mean, Light is godlike in his actions. So now all of these crimes are linked, which all of these deaths are linked, which, honestly, you have to be a fucking moron to do this. I mean, these are high school kids, of course, but, they think, oh, then people will be afraid of this thing coming after them if they do wrong. But, people are people. It's like Home Alone, the wet bandits. Daniel Stern always turned on the faucet. Well, now we can link all of these crimes together because you did the same fucking thing, you dummy. So that's kind of what happens here. And Lakeith Stanfield, who you would know from, he was in Get Out. He was the guy that kind of went crazy when the camera goes off. And I'm trying to think, there's a movie with Jessica Williams from The Daily Show that is on Netflix as well, with her and Chris O'Dowd. And I'm trying to think of the name of it. But he's in that as well. So you've seen the guy, possibly. But he plays a guy named L, who's this detective, who he's figuring out the case. And his right-hand guy is a guy named Watari. And they're trying to solve this, figure out who this is. And they figure out, based on when stuff was on television or whenever, that it happened in Seattle, which is where Light lives. So, I just... The whole thing with this L character was annoying to me. He's eccentric, which we've seen done in The Professional. We've seen it done in another Willem Dafoe movie, Boondock Saints. This eccentric genius detective. Like, why are we doing this again? Like, there's one scene where he confronts Light, who's sitting in a diner, in a little two-person window table, and L walks around him and hops into the seat in a crouched position, like on his feet, in the chair. I'm like, what is the fucking purpose of this? There's no purpose to this. And he somehow figures out that you need to be able to see the face and know the name. And, like, you would never figure this shit out. It was just fucking annoying and awful. The entire L character. The concept is good. I liked it. I liked the ending. I thought was all right. As Light, does whatever he needs to do to keep things rolling. Obviously, teenage mind, maybe we're going to create this god that isn't real. I don't know. Like there's no way. If I had this book and I was doing that, you take out. Look, you write Kim Jong Un in there. Okay, that makes sense. Or you get the list of terrorist names, and you write them through. Somebody shoots up a church in South Carolina. You put their name in that book. That we're not paying for them in the prison system anymore. Like stuff like that makes sense. You get pedophiles, whatever. All makes sense to me. But to link them together so that you're somehow connected. And, honestly, for this guy to think that he could somehow, convict this kid, what are you going to use as evidence? What are you really going to use? Are you going to use this notebook? No. I mean, come on. It's the stupidest thing. And how do you prove this is the notebook? This is how it works. How are you going to prove that? How do you know this kid's not writing all these names down after they're dead? The only way to prove that this is how it works is to actually kill somebody with the book. You could never, ever convict this kid. It's the whole case this guy has is stupid. So, I don't know. It just... The fact that he could figure out, there's no way. There's just no fucking way. It's so implausible. So I really do need to see the anime version to see if it's better. Shea Wiggum is fine. He has hair that is just as incomprehensible as Tom Hanks' hair in the Dan Brown movies. I don't understand what the fuck he's doing with his head. If that's acting, I don't know. You're a good enough actor. You don't need to hair act. It didn't get it. It didn't make sense to me. Willem Dafoe's the voice was great. Could have been anybody, really, doing the voice. It didn't matter. Ryuk was an interesting enough, weird enough looking character as he was. There were good things about the movie and bad things. I will throw it in the laundry folder category at best, but it's not great. It's not something you need to hurry up and watch. Like, if you're bored and it's there, go for it. But other than that, Death Note, it's this is why we need the stars back on Netflix. Thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't know what to give this because it's a 3. It's a 3 out of 5. Like, it's right up the middle, maybe a 2.5. And really just because the L character was so fucking awful. He was the worst part of the movie. And I know he thought I know he thought I'm making brave acting choices. I could already tell Lakeith Stanfield, is that guy. I can already tell. So, just by what he did in this movie. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not a rush. It's nothing that great. So, anyway, but, if you're into that kind of crazy stuff, check it out. If you're like a diehard horror fan, it's a good concept. It's just not a great movie. So, anyhow, thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Head over to abnormalentertainment.com and cinemaheadcheese.com for all of our new stuff. And as always, this is sponsored by MoviePass. MoviePass used to be $30 a month. It's $10 now. It's fucking $10 a month. One movie. You pay for one. You go to one movie a month, right? One a month is your $10. That's it. So instead of paying for one movie, you pay for one movie and go to all of them. It's not one and one. You can go to every movie that comes out, every movie, every month, for $10. And they've expanded the theaters you can go to, and I'm not going to list them because they're different in every state. But you can go to a movie a day, every day. No blackout dates, no anything. Any fucking movie you want that is in that theater, you can go every fucking day. Every day. For $10 a month. And I say fuck in this because fuck is an amazing deal. And this MoviePass is a Netflix company, so they know what they're doing with this stuff. This is a great deal. You cannot pass it up. And if you click through our banners at abnormalentertainment.com, cinemaheadcheese.com, you help us. We get a kick. You sponsor the show. You sponsor the show by doing this, by using our sponsors. You are sponsoring us by doing this. You are a part of this by doing this. Okay? And we appreciate that. We need that. We need to pay the bills here. And there are bills here. Trust me. I've been doing this now for, when did we start this? God damn, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I think 2009 is when I first started podcasting. So, yeah, it's been 8 years, and I pay for it. It comes out of my personal pocket. So anything you can do to help, and it keeps us all going, all of these shows. That's much appreciated. So thank you for doing that. Anything you can do to help is great. So head over there, do that, and go see some movies, man. Thor's coming up, Justice League. You know you want to see this crap. And think about it this way. You spend $10. I spent money to go see the Emoji Movie. I'm angry at myself for that. I did. My kid loved it, but it was just like, and it was fine. I still need to do a thing for that. But if you go to a movie that's shitty, you won't care. You won't feel like you're out anything. Because in that month's time, you're going to see something good. You will have paid for one good movie at least. So if you see something, then you're like, I did it with MoviePass, no big deal. Same as watching something shitty on Netflix. Like, it's part of my $10 a month. Whatever. You won't care. It won't feel like wasted money or wasted time. So please do that. You support us. And we like I said, we all do appreciate everything you guys do. Share us, rate us on iTunes, whatever you can. Stitcher, we're on Laughable. Go check that out. That's for Apple users. We're on Google Play. That's for Android users. So you can find our show all over the place, and I do really appreciate it. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, and we will see each other again next time. Subscribe and download back episodes of Cinema Head Cheese the podcast, and read all of our movie reviews and news at cinemaheadcheese.com. Email us at cinemaheadcheese@yahoo.com. Search Cinema Head Cheese on Facebook and tweet us at CINHeadCheese. And for more podcasts, books, comics, blogs, and videos, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.